A lark and her momster are coming your way. Gonna tell it how it is, so won't you join us today? Are we ready?
We're ready.
We're ready?
We're ready.
Okay, hold on. I'm just gonna check the sound one more time.
Okay.
And we're back to a new episode of A Lark and Her Momster. Say hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
God. First of all, okay, I know that we're not going to do too much of like the jibber jabber, even though that's what this whole podcast is about. But can I just say it took me like 45 minutes? That might be
No, you're exaggerating. Yes, you're totally exaggerating.
Well,
it took you about 15.
It took a lot of my life to figure out how to use the mics because I'm so technologically challenged.
Yeah, it was driving you a little batshit crazy.
It does, because I'm a perfectionist and I have to get things right and I have to make things work. And yes.
We're going to do a whole episode about your need for perfectionism.
Oh, I wonder where it came from.
Well, your mother is
wonder where it came from. Oh, she's giving me the middle finger, guys. That's so rude.
You came by it honestly because your mother is both a perfectionist and a procrastinator.
See, I didn't get the procrastination gene, though.
No, thank God.
I like to get things done. You like getting things done. We will get this done. Okay.
Are you sure? I'm not so sure.
So
I think we're just going to keep talking.
Nope. We're wrapping it up. All right. So welcome to episode 7. This episode is called You're Not Fat, and Neither Am I. And we're going to talk about body image issues, body positivity, and all things related to that, how we kind of garner some of our body image issues from our parents, from society in general. But before we get into that, I want to tell you what.
Can we talk about the wine?
I'm going to tell you about the wine.
I love the wine.
All right.
Wine's so much better than body image.
I mean, you're not wrong. So today's wine is called Longevity Blanc de Blanc. It's a Méthode Champinoise.
Say that again?
Méthode Champinoise. Méthode Champinoise. I'm not doing it anymore. All right. So longevity is a lifestyle. It's all about loving what you live and living what you love. Like Halloween. It's coming up. The heart on the label represents this and family, and it's actually a really cool label, you guys. I love it. There's lots of hearts, and it's really pretty. Because that's what it's about. The wine has to be pretty.
It only has one heart that's made out of grapes and other
But it's
designs.
a pretty heart.
Yeah, it is.
Well, ultimately, it's about the experience, about living, loving, and sharing that experience with others. And they invite you to go visit their showroom in California. The grapes were harvested at optimal ripeness with low sugar and high acid. It is light cream in color. The sparkling wine blossoms in your mouth with lively acidity.
I don't know why you said that. Lively acidity.
I just think I want to talk in a transatlantic accent for the rest of the episode. But
is that transatlantic? I think that's more southern.
No. Oh, I don't know.
That's southern.
I don't know.
Transatlantic does not.
No, transatlantic is quite like this. Like I want a sip of. No, you're right. I want a sip of martini. That's more. Why am I doing? Why am
the fudge cookies you're just babbling on about?
Transatlantic.
Clearly, you've had a lot of this longevity wine.
So the nose detects. I don't know what my nose detects because it's broke, y'all. It's broken, so it doesn't detect a lot. But if it did detect a lot, it would detect that this wine has yeasty bread and its many tiny bubbles refreshed with green apple and crisp citrus notes. Y'all, it's good. It's a good wine. I'm going to tell you.
You know,
after this week, it's a good wine.
It's been a week.
It's been a week.
It's been a year and a week.
It's been a whole last year and 1 week. It's so hot. I don't do heat.
No.
Some of y'all know I have lupus, so I really don't do heat.
I don't have lupus and I don't do heat either. So
yeah.
I think heat is stupid.
It is stupid.
Global warming is stupid.
It's just
stupid.
You know what else is stupid? Not loving who you are. It's not stupid. I'm not going to say that it's stupid because it's a journey and it takes a long time to fall in love with yourself. But I think it's stupid that society has done so much to make us think that we have to look a certain way. Because if you think about it, back in the olden days, before they had transatlantic accents, back when they used to discuss matters like this in the royal kingdoms, and I would have been a peasant, but I don't know how they would have talked.
I don't know what kingdom you would have been in. But I don't think it would have been a kingdom of real people.
But the beauty standards were, the more voluptuous you were meant the more you were beautiful, because that meant that you had money and you could afford food. Which I know why that's some people out there, we can't afford the food, so we're trying. We can afford the cheap food, which is not the good food, and I won't get into that. But
that's a whole nother episode.
That's a whole other problem just in society in and of itself. But Mom, why don't you take it away with some of the things that you've seen and you've researched?
Sure.
Cool.
Happy to do that. I actually watched a CNN video. It was timely because we talked about doing this episode, and then all of a sudden
it just popped up.
And I thought,
they're listening.
They're listening. And the episode featured fashion historian Emma McClendon talking about how mannequins and their silhouettes reflect how women feel about their bodies.
That's weird.
Isn't it?
I know. Mannequins just creep me out.
Yeah, well.
Also, if you ever see one in the ocean, it's not a mannequin.
Okay.
Just on a dark turn. Go ahead. Keep going.
Too many murder podcasts, honey. Anyway, in the 50s, women and their mannequins were very full-figured. In the 60s and 70s, it became all about the twiggy look, so mannequins had no breasts and thin figures. In the 80s, fashions revolved around a healthier body with breasts, so the mannequins reflected that healthier body and the breasts that went along with it. And in the 90s, trends went back to that waif look, so the mannequins became very wafy.
Heroin chic.
Yes, very heroin chic.
Because that was...
Or not chic.
Well, I mean, there was Gia Karanji, who I loved. I mean, I loved Angelina Jolie playing Gia Karanji. But yeah, that was the in look, was very... What I hate that they called, but heroin chic. You were stick thin.
Yeah. And didn't look at all healthy.
No.
Today, there's more of a focus on body positivity and inclusivity, and it's more reflective of all body types. What do you want?
I want the wine.
Oh my God.
Sorry.
All of a sudden I see flutter fingers over there and I'm going, what is going on? Right in the middle of me talking about this video that I watched.
This is important.
It is. So, yet, what this fashion historian talked about is the fact that post-pandemic, with some of the political things that are happening, that the fashion industry is kind of going back to expecting women to look more like Barbie and not have real figures that are very reflective of all those different body types. And it just really reminded me about how when you were young and how I talked about body image.
Yeah, girl.
I would tell you that you were beautiful like you were, and yet I didn't even realize that I was shaming myself because I didn't reflect what was expected in the 90s. You know?
Right.
So you were very young. You were born.
And you're very impressionable when you're young. Again, I've said in other episodes, you're sponges. You take up everything you hear around you.
Right.
Which is why, by the way, you can choose your children to hate or love. Which four-letter word will you choose? Go with love.
Yes. So anyway, it just reminded me that I would tell you were beautiful as you were, and yet...
You're very hard on yourself.
Yeah, I was very hard on myself. And there's a ton of research today that reflects on parents' self-image and negative messaging about their own bodies and how this resonates with children, even those as young as 2 years old.
Damn straight.
There's a clinical psychologist, Jocelyn Lebeau, at the Mayo Clinic, who shared an article that we'll post when we do the synopsis.
Yes, yeah.
But she shared how critical it is for parents to be good role models around their own body image, because it's really hard for our message to land with our children if we talk about our own bodies as being less than optimal. She also shared the importance of not measuring our body image through weight, because it's a horrible metric.
It makes it, because I will tell you that at my healthiest, I weighed more than I did at, my unhealthiest,
right,
which was
muscle weighs more than fat.
1000%. You cannot y'all get rid of the scale. Get rid of the scale. Start telling yourself you love yourself when you look in the mirror. Because it's, and it's really interesting because it's something that I used to talk to my doctors about. I'd be like, well, my BMI. And they're like, first of all, that's actually been kind of thrown out. The
debunked.
BMI index.
Totally
it's been debunked because it's old. It's so old, and no one has done the research or has the science to back up things that are new. And it depends on your...
it's out there. It's just we as a society, it takes a long time, just like it takes a long time for a podcast to connect. It takes a long time for research to connect.
True.
So we tend to go back to the old research, which has finally come up into the general population.
Right.
And we're starting to go, oh, that makes sense. And while that's happening, new research is coming along. So Dr. LeBeau actually shared how weight is a horrible metric for both our health and our body image. And so we really need not to focus so much on weight. Now, I will say, for me right now, my weight is not healthy. And so I do need to figure out how, because, at my age, over 60,
right,
it's easier with cortisol weight. And even though I try to eat healthy,
right,
and I try to exercise, I try to do all of that. It's just as you get older, your weight and how it kind of attaches to your body and where it attaches to your body shifts.
Right.
So the other piece that I found, and of course, we love all things UK.
We really do. We love our UK listeners.
We would love to live in the UK.
We would love to live in the UK or anywhere in Europe. Not anywhere in Europe.
No.
But
I'd love to either.
I'm going to say Ireland, Scotland, Wales. Those are my top 3. Or England. I'll take England too.
Ireland or Scotland for me.
Ireland or Scotland is fine.
Yeah,
but if you...
So, the Mental Health Foundation in the UK did a survey of 11 to 16-year-olds, and they found that 79%, mind you, these are 11 to 16-year-olds.
Not surprising.
Found almost
honestly.
80% indicated how they look is important to them. And 52% of those worried about how they look.
Yeah.
We could spend an entire episode just on this research alone. They found that 46% of girls reported their body image caused them to worry, and that is compared to 25% of boys. Yet both boys and girls struggle with body image issues.
Yeah.
Girls more so, because I think there is more of
there's more of a focus. Yeah, societal focus on it. Oh my God. Yeah.
And clothes.
Well, and it's like, oh my God, the things I've seen the past week about, Christina Aguilera she's back. The 2002 Christina Aguilera is back because she lost a lot of weight. She had I don't know if she's had work done. I don't know. You do you, girl, as long as you're happy. But the fact that people are saying, the 2002 Christina is back. Why do you want her back? She's aged. Let her age gracefully. Why are we trying to hold on? I mean, we're aging, gracefully. Why are you going to put that pressure on somebody else?
Talk about yourself.
It's ridiculous.
I
think you are. I think you are. I believe you are. But I'm just saying, it's like we put so much pressure too on celebrities to look a certain way, and it's like, damn, yeah, they had kids. They're allowed to eat. They're allowed to fluctuate. We all fluctuate. I fluctuate.
Well, we do, and certainly our emotional situations affect when we eat, how we eat, when we drink, how much we drink, and all of that affects our bodies and what's happening.
Yeah.
So I found this research just really fascinating. The other thing that this particular article shared was that body dissatisfaction has been linked to risk-taking behaviors and mental health concerns, and that makes total sense to me.
That makes a lot of sense.
Having observed what you struggled with.
Well, and I struggled too with the fact, because I was around 11 when I started to do industry stuff, when I went on auditions for modeling or acting, things like that. and I was in a class, and I won't name names, but there was a certain person who led this class who told me that I had to be thin, who told me that I was too developed for my age.
Right.
And
you had boobs.
Yeah, well, and like, sorry, I hit puberty young, y'all. It happens. It is what it is.
Yes, but then you became very focused on
the
trying to lose the boobs,
and I
the
did.
weight.
I became very athletic. I mean, and I did some of it in a healthy way because I became very athletic, very involved in fitness, which was great. But there was a moment there too where I dated a guy who would tell me that, oh, you're so much prettier when you're thin, and so I had an eating disorder.
Yeah.
It was that Christmas.
Yeah.
That I came to visit, and I remember one of our friends was like, "You look. Are you okay? Because you don't look okay. Like you're too thin."
Yeah, you were too thin.
Yeah,
and I could have told you that till I was blue in the face, and you would have looked at me like I had a horn.
No, other people have to tell me, so I believe that.
Right, exactly. Because if I tell you, I'm just like, so yeah.
But it's just interesting, like how young it affected me and how much it carried on through my life. And I feel really lucky now because I've gone through years of therapy, and I've had really good friends and people around, and I've gone, I got my certification as personal trainer. I've done yoga, I've done all of these things and started to realize that everyone's different. Everybody's different.
Yes.
And I love the body I have now. And I do like 20 to 30 minutes of Pilates a day, and that's it. Like I don't extreme train like I used to.
With the wily bitch that we like?
No, that's Obey. But I love Obey, and I've gotten really into Aloe Moves too.
Oh, okay.
Another great app. This bitch isn't wily, but she's Australian, so she says nar. Nar instead of no, and I love her. She's so happy.
So we have the nar bitch and the wily bitch.
Yeah, but we both love those bitches. They're great bitches. It's not like bitch in the bad in a derogatory term. It's like
they're good.
It's like, bitch, we love you, like that.
Well, I think the lesson for me, and I've said this to you so many times. Hindsight's 20/20, and if I could go back in time, I would do so much. Differently than what I did. But the lesson is parents need to worry less about how they look and focus more on their health so their children can view themselves in healthier ways.
Health is so important. Exactly. Mm-hmm. So focus less on what you look like and more on what am I putting into my body to fuel it? Am I putting in things that are nutritious, nutrient-dense foods? There is a science behind having the proper amount of veggies and fruits and proteins and carbs are a good thing, guys. Bread is good.
Good carbs.
Yeah, and good fats.
Not sugar.
And good fats. Because I
remember
remember
the fact that we're eating lots of pumpkin spice stuff right at the moment.
But that was another fad, was like, oh, fats are bad. No, fats are good. And I hate the freaking word fuck fat. I hate that word. I'm sorry.
Fuck fat?
Yeah, fuck fat.
Say that fast 3 times.
Fuck fat. I can't.
You can't.
I cannot. But it's such a derogatory term, and I hate that because it's like even if someone is over, like I know people who are curvy, and oh my God, they're beautiful. They're so beautiful.
You think of
and it's
artists like Lizzo.
Right.
And she's losing weight, but it's for health reasons.
Adele. Health reasons. And she's still she's not heroin chic, thank God, because that woman is a goddess.
But she's not made to be that way.
Exactly.
She's not her body type. She's
right.
These are women who have bigger bone structure.
Right.
And
bigger.
They would not look healthy if they got super thin.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. And it's just wild to me that we have such a focus on a way that we should look. You should look exactly the way that you look, and that makes you truly, genuinely happy. Yeah. You know what I mean? So
I totally understand.
Like for me, if I look in the mirror, I like that I have some muscle definition, but I like that I have a little bit more of a butt now.
Yeah.
Because there was a long time where I had a very flat ass.
Well, and I think
I like a little bit of a butt.
I think generationally, your generation is much more accepting of that.
Mm-hmm.
I think my generation, because I can remember going out with friends and you'd put on an outfit or a pair of jeans, and the first thing you would ask is, does this make me look fat?
Mm-hmm.
And everybody would say no, but if you didn't feel good about yourself,
right,
it didn't matter what anybody else said.
Right.
And so many of my friends were just naturally thin, and I compared myself to their natural ability to have a certain look
Right.
that I was never going to have.
No.
Because I am hourglass. I mean, I am just by nature kind of curvy. I'm short,
Right.
but I'm curvy.
See, and I'm tall, athletic, and curvy.
Yeah.
Like, I have my dad's kind of broad shoulders, and I used to hate that because I was like, oh, I look bigger.
Oh, I love your shoulders.
And yet, yeah, and I've fallen in love with my shoulders. I mean, more room to tattoo. Just kidding.
Enough tattoos.
I know.
Thank you very much.
I'm just saying.
You've got the perfect amount right now.
Just
you
saying.
need no more.
For now. Anyway,
No
this
more.
this episode is not about tattoos.
No, but we're going to do one about tattoos. Anyway, so...
But, yeah, no, but it is interesting how we learn from our parents, or how much we gain from our parents, right? Even if it's subconscious. Even if we don't think about it in the minute, like, I can go back in my head and remember when it's like, oh, look at the way my belly rolls if I sit, you know? Everyone's belly rolls when you sit.
I don't know anybody, even somebody
Everybody.
who's super thin is going to have skin roll.
Yeah, because
Skin.
it's your fucking skin.
Right, exactly. So I think, you know, there's a lot of opportunity for the fashion industry and the political and entertainment realms to think through how the messaging they put out there impacts children, but especially young girls,
Yeah.
and how girls and women are viewed and how they view themselves. I think it's still, my generation, we still tend to look in the mirror and think we're not enough, we're not good enough the way we are, as opposed, so it's sort of like, it's not who we are or how we are, it's how we look.
Right, that's so interesting, and it's so weird to me because, and I get like wanting to have a good self-image. I get wanting to look good, and it's so, I used to want to look good for other people, right? And now I just want to look good for me. So like when I put on fun, shimmery green eyeshadow or eyeliner or whatever, that's for me because I have fun looking at myself in the mirror. Not in like a weird egotistical way or anything, but just like, you know, it's fun. And oh my gosh, she has zoned out, y'all.
I'm listening to you.
No, you're not allowed to be on your phone while we are recording a podcast. Bish,
I was
no.
listening to you.
As she was literally like, okay, I'm done. I've said my piece. I'm just going to scroll through my phone now.
I was checking the time. Because,
Okay.
you know, we don't want to just keep going on and on and on and on.
We don't, but I do want to kind of summarize and wrap up here soon, which I will. And I just realized my computer's not plugged in.
Does that mean we're not recording?
No, we're recording. It just means it's about to die. So I need to record. My phone was plugged in because apparently that was important. It's plugged in now.
Oh,
Bing.
see?
See?
See, and if I hadn't stopped to look at the time for you to make your little comment about the fact that I was checking the time.
You were scrolling. I saw your thumb move.
No, all I
Her
did
thumb moved.
was move.
It was a
so I
scroll.
could see the time.
Anyway, so think about, you know, if you're a mom or a dad and you have...
Oh, speaking of dads, I'd share this one story with you.
Okay.
Because I know this podcast is about mothers and daughters, but in a perfect scenario, you would have a mom and a dad who are raising girls together.
Right. That's true. In a perfect
girls,
scenario.
You've talked about daddy issues.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's so important. And I have...
Oh, really quickly before you say something, I had someone, you know, we put this podcast out to mothers and daughters, and I had a guy that I'm friends with say, he was like, yeah, I'm listening to your podcast. And I kind of went, you know, it's for mothers and daughters, but if you want to listen to it, have a good laugh. He's like, oh, but this could also help me when I become a dad to a daughter. And I was like, oh,
that's
I
right.
know. And it could. And I loved that. So I'm sorry for interrupting. Go on.
No, it's great. You interrupt me all the time. Why would today be any different?
You're not wrong.
Anyway, I know I'm not. I'm always right.
Well,
so,
other podcast episodes can prove you're not.
yeah, I am.
Moving on.
Mm-hmm. So I was having coffee with someone who's involved in the nonprofit that I run in my real life. And he was talking about, well, I mentioned that we were doing this podcast and the focus this week was on body image. Mm-hmm. And he's got 3 daughters and one's in high school. He's got a 13-year-old that he took to Lollapalooza. Mm-hmm. And she's a very strong-willed 13-year-old, which
Love
he
that.
loves.
Yes.
I think it's amazing.
Absolutely.
And he said that when they were getting ready to go to Lollapalooza, that she said, "Okay, Dad, just know you can't talk about my outfits." And he got there, and she put on the skirt, and he made a comment about the skirt, and she goes, "That's body shaming, Dad." And he looked at her and he goes, "No, honey, that's not body shaming. No 13-year-old should wear that skirt." But I think that it's important because even dads make comments to their daughters.
Or to their wives.
Right, in front of their kids.
Their kids, exactly.
Right, so I think that conscientiousness and his willingness to be able to say, this is not body shaming.
Right.
I think you have a beautiful body no matter what you wear. It's just that skirt's not acceptable for you at this age.
Right.
No one should be wearing that skirt.
Because it's funny we're talking about this because you know what popped up on my Instagram the other day was a clip of that movie 13.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember like watching it being like, damn, we really were 13 dressing like that. Oh my God.
Yeah.
And it's wild. And yeah, you guys, oh my God, you guys, please be. If you're younger and listening to this, hold on to the youth. Not because it makes you look young, but just because it's so nice to be a kid and not have
responsibility. Not have to be an adult.
You haven't experienced, I mean, maybe you have. I mean, you haven't, gone through 34 years of just...
That's right. You're going to be 34 soon.
I will be 34 soon.
Yeah, we're going to go back to the place where we started
back
the podcast.
To life, back to reality.
Nope, we're going to the place where there is no reality.
That's true. That's true.
We're going to the
in
little
a
cabin.
world full of imagination. That wasn't correct. Fuck. In a world of true imagination. That's what it is. I don't know if that's right.
It's the it's the tiny house. We're going back to the tiny house.
Yes. We're going back to the tiny house. It's not a tiny house. It's actually a big house. It's a big fucking house.
No,
it's big.
It's a tiny house.
It's not tiny.
Tiny.
I could live there.
You could, but it's still a tiny house.
Okay.
Yeah. And a shout out to Amanda for letting us use the tiny house.
We love you, Amanda.
So
Thank you,
grateful,
Amanda. You
yeah,
bomb. Yeah. So
is.
to kind of wrap this up, we're not going to talk your ear off because I know we've had a couple of episodes that have gone on a little long, and we appreciate you guys really listening and kind of sitting with us, drinking with us or not, or laughing with us, learning with us, because this is something that, as we go on and do this podcast, my mom and I are learning a lot about each other too, and what we've gone through and what people continue to go through. And we just hope that this helps whoever listens to, if you're someone going through body image issues, just know that we think you're beautiful.
That's
and right. As long as you feel good about yourself and like you wake up and you're happy and
healthy.
And healthy does not mean eating salads all the time. Healthy just means healthy, like whatever you're putting in your body is nourishing you. Let it be that. I mean, I do the 80-20 rule, where it's like 80% of my week when I'm like working is pretty healthy, and I eat healthy snacks because I have to stay awake the whole day. So I use things that fuel me. But they're pretty healthy decisions. And then the weekends, I have fun. I have pumpkin spice shit. You know what I mean? And I enjoy a glass of wine with you.
I hope you're not eating pumpkin spice shit. That would be really gross.
Not eating actual pumpkin. Sorry, I just imagined a pumpkin who was spicy shitting. And that's a weird thing to imagine.
It would be really gross.
It's really
disgusting.
Gross. Anyway,
but you are eating pumpkin spice
fritters and crumble cake. Yeah. And I'm not so worried about the way that I look. I'd rather have fun and enjoy things as they come, maintain a healthy lifestyle of movement, because that will help you when you get older. It'll help your bones, your joints as you get older. I want to be in my 60s, 70s and still able to squat.
Like me.
Like you. And still able to do things, still able to walk the dogs. And Luna, who's going to live forever. So that's what I mean by healthy. And something that I've started to do, and this might sound weird, but I've read a lot about it, is to look in the mirror and say, I love you. So like look in the mirror and tell yourself that, you know, I love you, because whether you're fighting a battle about body image, the more that you can tell yourself how much you love you, the better off you're going to be.
And if you have anything, and if you're a mom or a daughter and want to share your own experiences with body image, we hope you'll reach out to us. You can send us an email.
Yeah.
You can respond
on the grams, the Instagram. My Instagram handle is Lark and Luna. My mom's is way more complicated, so I'm not going to say it. But you can always email us at larkandmomster. Your miss is complicated. Don't worry about it.
No,
but it's yes, it is. It's like Suze_E_. No, we're not going to do it.
It's
anyway.
Suze
E cupcake, but there's underscores.
Suze E underscore.
So it's
SOOZ underscore E
STOOPID.
Cupcake.
It's too much.
It's just 2 underscores.
You know what? Just email us at larkandmomster@gmail.com. LARKANDMOMSTER@gmail.com. I have to close my eyes every time I do it because I can't spell unless I do that.
And we have guests next week.
We do. We're so excited. We have guests next week.
So
we have guests. We have guests. I'm going to stop.
If you could only see the faces that are made at this table. Yes.
Maybe one day we'll do a video. Maybe.
Right. So we have a mother and daughter who are going to join us next week and talk about what it's like to be a daughter who is adopted and a mom who adopts a daughter.
I love that.
At an older age.
I'm excited.
Yeah. The daughter was adopted as a teen. So.
Oh, shit. That's rad.
Yeah,
I love that.
So
that's
we
awesome.
get to hear from them. And I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah. You know what else we're going to do? Sorry.
No.
Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice! Oh, wow. Sorry, I just saw that spiked the sound. Sorry. I'm still learning how to do sound. Sorry, not sorry. Still learning how to do the sound, so please give us a break. But we appreciate you listening, learning, and laughing with us, and we will see you. Well, we won't see you because we don't see you. Well, I mean, I see you. I see you.
Yeah, it's a podcast. They don't see us. We don't see them.
And one day we'll do a video. Who knows?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But we appreciate you. We love you. And please remember to tell yourself, I love you every time you look in the mirror, because you should.
I love you, honey.
Well, I love you too.
Are you sure? Because when you really love me, you don't say it with that voice.
No, I do if I've had booze.
Oh, you only love me when you've had booze?
No, I don't. You know what? What did my mom used to tell me? I love you all the time. I just don't like you all the time.
No.
Fair enough.
I said I love you all the time. I just don't like your behavior all the time.
You 1,000%. I don't like you all the time. And that's okay. But we love you. And if you ever, are having any kind of concerns or are feeling a certain way about yourself and you want to reach out to somebody to talk to, there are places that you can reach out to, and maybe we will provide one of those in the summary as well if you're kind of dealing with some body image issues and you need someone to talk to.
Yeah, that'd be great. Honey.
Yeah. All right.
Well, thank you guys.
So much. Yeah. All right. Over and out.
See ya.
Bye.